If you have a premium travel credit card, you're likely to have what is called the TSA Precheck or Global Entry Credit, which is a credit that essentially offers either TSA Precheck or Global Entry for free. But before we dive into how to apply and get approved for TSA Precheck / Global Entry, or why I would recommend applying for Global Entry rather than TSA Precheck, I first have to explain what exactly they are. So if you've ever been to an airport and realized, holy crap, I only have an hour to get through this huge winding snake of a line called the security line. You know, that area where you're forced to take off your shoes, your belt, take out your electronics, and throw away your water for no reason, and then everything you have on you gets thrown into a scanner. While doing all of that, you've probably noticed a huge waving bluish flag with the words TSA Precheck sign off to the side. What you've also probably noticed is the seemingly empty TSA Precheck line, while your line, the normal line, seems to go on for miles. That's essentially what the TSA Precheck / Global Entry credit that comes with most premium travel credit cards provide. Now, TSA Precheck and Global Entry are essentially the same program. The key difference is that TSA Precheck is an expedited screening program that is mainly used for domestic travel, while Global Entry is an expedited screening program used to regain entry back into the United States after traveling internationally. And the reason as to why I recommend applying for Global Entry is the fact that it also comes with TSA Precheck as well, killing two birds with one stone. I also highly recommend getting Global Entry even if you're planning to only travel abroad one time within the next 5 years that your membership is valid for if you get approved, because let me tell you, if you thought TSA lines were bad during Labor Day, lines at the airport for re-entry back into the United States is another nightmare. Okay, so now that you know what exactly Global Entry is, let's start the application process, starting with step 1, and that's eligibility. As you might have expected, not everyone is eligible for either the Global Entry program or the TSA Precheck program. Those who are eligible for the Global Entry program are US citizens, US nationals, US lawful permanent residents, and Mexican nationals, as well as citizens of certain countries with which the US Customs and Border Protection has trusted traveler arrangements with. And these countries include mainly United States allies such as Canada, Japan, United Kingdom, and much more. Feel free to pause this video to see if your country has arrangements, but I'll also leave the link to find this page down in the descriptions down below so that you can go check it out yourself. Those that are eligible for TSA Precheck is a bit of a shorter list, with only US citizens, US nationals, and lawful permanent residents are eligible. You may also be ineligible if you have certain violations of federal security regulations or disqualifying criminal offenses and factors, but that just goes without saying. Alright, so now that we've checked that you are indeed eligible, the second step is figuring out whether or not you'll be paying for this out of pocket or with the statement credit that comes from a credit card. If you go on the official Trusted Travel Programs website, you'll be met with 5 different travel related programs. The ones that we're talking about in this video are TSA Precheck, which costs $78 and is used for travel by air, and Global Entry, which is $100 and is used for travel by air, land, or sea. Other programs include Nexus, which is one between the US and Canada, Sentry, which is one that's between the US, Canada, and Mexico, and Fast, which is mainly used by truck drivers entering and exiting the US, Canada, and Mexico. Notice how some may include TSA Precheck and that all 5 programs last 5 years. And these programs do accept payment by credit card or through an electronic bank transfer. But the other method for paying for it is through a statement credit from a credit card, such as the Capital One Venture X, which provides this credit every 4 years, so I can essentially get Global Entry for free as long as I continue to have this card. Now, this credit card isn't the only credit card with this benefit. Cards like the American Express Platinum Card or the Chase Sapphire Reserve also have this credit, as well as many more. So if you'd like to learn more about the fascinating world of credit cards, make sure to subscribe to my channel to learn more. Alright, now that we know how we're going to be paying for it, step number 3 is the application process. The first step is to create a Trusted Traveler Programs account, which is pretty simple, similar to any other account creation. The next step is to apply for Global Entry. During this application process, it'll ask you for information on things such as your residential history for the past 10 years, your occupational history for the past 10 years. I know I was a student within the last 10 years. That is something you can put on there. They'll also ask pretty standard questions such as whether or not you've been found in violating customs laws or whether or not you've committed a federal crime, and are a criminal. And also your forms of identification, such as a US passport or driver's license. Once you've gone through the application process and paid the application fee, you'll wait to be either conditionally approved or denied. If you're conditionally approved, the next step is to schedule an interview at a global entry enrollment center. This is probably where the 4 to 6 month application process listed under the global entry tile rings true for most people, but for me personally, I didn't really actually have to wait that long. Fortunately for me, I was conditionally approved within 24 hours of when I applied for global entry, and then I was able to secure an in-person interview for a time that was 2 weeks after. But I've definitely heard of people being conditionally approved months later and not being able to secure an interview months after that, but as always, your miles may vary. Preparing for the in-person interview is actually very simple. For my experience, I had to go to the Global Entry Center located in Washington, D.C. Please note that there aren't that many global entry centers across the United States, so you might have to plan for a long drive just in case, but for me, it was luckily very close. Once arriving, you'll walk up to what is essentially a kiosk with an agent behind it. They'll ask for identification such as your passport that you used during the online application process, as well as proof of residency, which can be in forms such as a driver's license or utility bill statements. However, when I was there, I did overhear another person show Amazon deliveries as a form of proof, but I can't confirm whether or not she did actually get approved. The agent will then ask you some standard questions similar to the ones that you answered on the online application process, and then you'll be approved on the spot. I personally think that the in-person interview is a bit more like a formality. I personally thought that they'd grill me like one of those police questionings in a show, but judging from the pictures I took from the place, you can definitely tell how formal it actually was. Once approved, the agent told me that I'd be receiving a global entry card in the mail, which is only used for land or sea ports of re-entry, so not actually something you need to bring when you travel by air. And once you've received the card in the mail, you'll want to go ahead and activate the card through your TTP account, and you'll be all set. And if you've managed to make it to this point of the video, then I assume that you've been approved for global entry, so congratulations. I personally think it's a pretty straightforward process, no gotcha questions or confusing steps. I'll definitely be also documenting my first time experiences going through TSA Precheck and probably compare them to the Clear membership that is also similar to TSA Precheck. And with that, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you found this video to be useful, as well as hitting the like button. And with that, thank you for watching as always. Stay safe out there, everybody. Peace. Those of you out there that are new to the channel, hi, my name is Eric. I generally talk about everything credit card related, but more recently I've been making videos on broader financial topics such as these videos right here. The main goal for this channel is to provide informational and meaningful financial related content that everybody everywhere can enjoy. So again, if you'd like to support that dream, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And with that, thank you for watching as always. Until next time, everybody, stay safe out there.